In order to fully understand what's happening in Realm, Kelzad... Well, hold on, let's address that first. The animator and protagonist of Realm are both named Kelzad. Why Kelzad, the animator, decided to make that choice? Who knows? But it's confusing. Imagine if Hank were named Crinkles. You'd have to do a double take every time somebody mentioned Crinkles to confirm whether they were referring to the animator or the character. So thanks for making my job difficult, Kelzad. And I'm talking about Kelzad, the animator, not Kelzad, the character. Do you see why this is confusing? As I was saying, Kelzad, the animating Kelzad, not the animated Kelzad, recommends that you read a Newgrounds post for the backstory and context of Realm so you'll understand what's happening. This is sinful in itself, because the audience that enjoys watching these plus-signed characters kill each other is not the same audience that would enjoy reading an essay about a fictional universe. The main Madness Combat series has the right idea, with the plot points intertwined with the action scenes, so the viewer has a general sense of what's happening, but isn't ever bored with what's happening on the screen. And even after you read this entire page of text, good luck understanding anything in the Realm series past the first episode. What I'm trying to say is that I shouldn't have to graduate from college with an associate's degree in Realmology, just so I could barely understand what I'm looking at in these animations. I've read all of Realm Deterioration, so you don't have to. Fitting name, by the way, since reading this made the brain cells inside of my skull realm rapidly deteriorate. Missed opportunity to say hot dogs rather than pulled pork. Realm Deterioration states that the existence of the disco room in Madness Combat 4 was supposed to be kept secret. It's not like the posters on the wall advertising the DJ standoff in the disco room gave away the secret or anything. How do you even cut off a Madness character's hand? Do you do it like... How? Kelzad had the image of Zalmamder, but younger. Here's a picture of Zalmamder in his youth. See which one of these grunts looks identical to him? There's only one. I'll wait. I will wait. Well, anyways, the identical one is Kelzad, and if you couldn't figure that one out, then you need to get your eyes checked. Hey, can I borrow that? Yeah, sure. Thanks. I have never seen anybody ascend stairs slower in my life. Except that guy. Imagine having aim that bad. What was the... I don't... Okay, look, can somebody explain to me what the point of that scene was? Like, was Yelan raising the bodies to block Kelzad's path? Because if so, they did a pretty poor job, since there's plenty of space to walk around. Did Yelan raise those bodies so Kelzad could practice his aiming? Like, I just don't... Like, even after all that has happened, Hank is still looking to sell his car. And people are still looking to purchase it from him. Wear a helmet, kids. This scene doesn't show Kelzad sporadically uppercutting grunts for 3 minutes straight because he doesn't yet have the funds to purchase an iron pipe. After being disarmed, this ATP soldat prioritizes being angry over actually doing something about his situation.
Stupid dog! You made me look bad!
Highly trained soldier misses 5 nearly point-blank Uzi shots. Yelan ends Realm 2 in the same way I end my days. Having a panic attack alone in a dark room. You got games on your phone? You got games on your phone? You got games on your phone? Kelzad begins Realm 3 by giving his epileptic fans a seizure. This is Realm Fraternization, but it really should have been called Realm Paternalization, since half of this episode is just a father and son adventure. Wait, what? Did the building just get bigger, or did the characters get smaller? Did Yelan just Ant-Man both of them? Elon Musk must be ecstatic that the Kelzapper powers off in this moment. If only Zalmamder had invested in Duracell rather than Energizer. Without the existence of this room, Realm Alleviation would have one of the lowest body counts I've seen in a Madness animation. Realm puts such a high emphasis on the plot, and it feels like combat portions are simply an afterthought, making rewatches of the series a drag at times. Realm stands for Reality Escape and a Lack of Madness, but I'm convinced it should have been Relk. Reality Escape and a Lack of Combat. Platforming section. Seriously, that's all this scene is. Platforming. In a Madness Combat animation. Kelzad couldn't have fit a few Decrepit in there as a teaser for what he had in mind for Revelation. That is the most brief rest period of all time. Kelzad is labeled as a formidable foe, despite getting absolutely handled by Yilon for the entire episode. The employers have unique names, but I still can't tell them apart because, and I'm not trying to be racist, all of these black guys look exactly the same. Mr. Ooks, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. This scene always bothered me because the music kicks in just a little bit too early. Compare this to this. Yilon's "You're going to Brazil" attack. Kelzad becomes a worm. The dude in the back isn't being paid nearly enough to care about this. The magical color wheel heals Kelzad's wounds, but it was too lazy to fix the fact that his head is only held together using a belt and some Elmer's glue. The only good thing about the zombie apocalypse is that it forces AT&T out of business. Disease may cause death. Only in America do normal citizens own sniper rifles. Only in America do normal citizens own Uzis. The survivors fail to perform one of the most basic safety procedures in a zombie apocalypse: closing the door behind them. Carly is the reason why the "women can't drive" stereotype exists. I wish more stores were this upfront about their refund policies. Why? Yes. Yes, I do. I don't understand why the survivors are trying to go to an island, when instead they could invest in that GameStop and go to the moon. Is everything alright, little Lucky Link? That's oddly specific. Nick runs for the pistol that the zombified captain whacked out of his hand, rather than pulling out the backup knife and gun he has instead. Pi kills a guy. Instead of taking 15 seconds to explain that Nick and Carly could have their infections cured in the lab across the street, Connor endangers everybody by choosing to resolve the situation with violence. Carly's infection is cured despite the syringe entering her belt, which I would assume is pretty thick. Tom Fulp is a scientist at Gen Morto rather than president of Newgrounds HQ. Day of the Madness, through multiple calendars showing the same month and year, implies that this series takes place in June 2008. Connor's employment at Gen Morto ended 2 months prior, in April 2008. Yet Connor, despite being fired, manages to still be elected as Employee of the Month. This is even more absurd considering that Gen Morto has about 2,500 non-fired employees that should be eligible for the award. Grunt Fetus. The entirety of Whitehank is a sin. There's a lot to unravel here, so I'll try to go in the order that's dictated by the official playlist. First of all, the playlist itself. It's composed of 3 separate series: Rebooting the Madness, Paradigm Madness, and Whitehank, all of which are barely connected story-wise. The playlist tells you should watch the animations in order, but you can just watch the Whitehank animations and be just as confused as you would have been had you watched the prerequisite viewings beforehand. So what I'm trying to say is that anybody who has an interest in Whitehank is just going to waste their time by watching the other animations beforehand. It's like telling somebody, before you get into Harry Potter, you should learn about the basics of magic by watching the entirety of Game of Thrones and also by playing through Skyrim blindfolded. You might as well just watch Harry Potter. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. There's plenty of people who have watched the entire series playlist and just went, "What?" at the end. So we start with Rebooting the Madness, a 2-part series which features the gimmick of shade colors providing unique superpowers. The problem is that memorizing what all the shades do is a pretty big undertaking in such a fast-paced and short series like this. If you try watching Rebooting the Madness, your experience may be similar to mine. Alright, let's check out some of these Madness fan animations I've been hearing so much about. This one looks interesting. Rebooting the Madness. It's got a unique art style, so that's always a good trait to have. I'll give it a shot. Why is that guy able to see in the dark? It's gotta be the shades, right? Green shades equals night vision. Makes sense. Yeah, got it. Yeah, how is that guy able to control others with his mind? Doesn't really make sense to me. It's the yellow shades. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. I guess yellow in this animation equals mind control. Sure. Wait, do all of these shade colors have different powers associated with them? Because if so, that's a lot to memorize. Hopefully there's not too many. Do the dark red shades even do anything? I've been watching these guys for a while, and I don't think they have any special powers, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Now there's magenta shades. Alright, what did they do? Alright, you know what, look, I gotta bust out the encyclopedia. Alright, magenta. Magenta shades allow you to breathe underwater. When's the last time you've seen water in Madness Combat? There's cyan shades now? Okay. Cyan. Cyan shades allow the user to have telekinesis, but only outdoors. Yeah, good thing this series takes place predominantly indoors then. How many more shades are you going to throw into your animation? I don't want to memorize these. I just want to watch people die, okay? No more shade colors, just, madness and combat. No way there's even more shade colors. Look, we get it, alright. You have the ability to make different shade colors have different powers. Great, good for you. You're a very creative guy. Go apply for a job at Marvel or something, somebody who will actually appreciate your efforts, because I think your audience of 10-year-olds just wants to watch people, kill each other, just like I do. So, no more shade colors, please. Yeah, of course, now there's rainbow shades. Look, that's where I draw the line. I'm ready to leave, but before I go, let me show you one power of my own. You see these black shades right here? These shades grant me the power to not have to give a fuck about this animation that's overly complex for what it is, alright? If I wanted complexity, I'd go watch Realm or something. Just turn this off, I don't care. Turn this off, I don't care. Then there's Paradigm Madness, which is actually fine. I love how each clip is connected by this package, and how all the animators working together make this simple story float together so well. But again, this series is hardly relevant to Whitehank. All you need to know is that there is a pair of white shades which grant the ability of time travel. And I must say, the Wazowski grunts really freak me out. Whitehank is what would happen if 4chan decided to make a madness animation. And that's kind of what did happen, since Xtile has a similar energy to 4chan. First of all, the very concept of Whitehank is bafflingly stupid. I mean, the main character is Hank, but white. Imagine if Adult Swim announced a new show called Black Rick and Morty. Or if Nickelodeon made a SpongeBob spin-off featuring Patrick Dodecahedron. It's just, why? Anyone who is capable of handling crayons can create these concepts. And also there's a pink Hank, and regular Hank is here too, but he's an absolute pushover. The reason why there's so many Hanks is never explained, so right off the bat the viewer is going to be very confused if even the smallest part of them cares about logic and coherence in their animations. The animation quality is all over the place, and there are some parts that feature the worst camera work I've ever seen. You can force a monkey to snort a pint of cocaine and give it a camera, and it would still handle the camera better than some of these animators could. The plot is simply incomprehensible, and overall watching the Whitehank animations is going to leave you with half of the IQ points that you had going in. And also, the community refers to the main character as Wank, which is just about the most Xtile thing I could imagine. Overall, Whitehank is the largest sin to ever be conceived, and if you're a Whitehank fan, I hope you have a nice day. The nickname Wank is pretty funny though. human test tubes, using a fallen comrade as a human shield, firing guns using telekinesis. Keystone fragment has been compromised. Protagonist gains the ability to apply an electric boost to their punches. The first time the protagonist dies is by an unexpected head injury from somebody who has godlike powers. Mag unit tears metal spikes out of the ground in order to advance. Possessed agents. Body keeps on walking after being cut in half. Possessed enemy stuck in fence. Realm Illuviation begins with an employer in battle with the protagonist, which includes fire throwing. Employer is weak to electricity. Battered body. You cannot tell me this wasn't copied straight from Madness 11. Another dimension featuring floating rocks. Inhuman minions. Claw arm. Yeah, now there's rainbow shade.